Welcome to St. Louis Live, also known as We Are Live, and the official sponsor of the St. Louis Battlehawks.
Like we pay them?
I think that's how it works. Like we pay them, right?
No.
We
Like
don't?
for the rights.
Caw-caw! I'm trying to get into the spirit. Caw-caw! Welcome to We Are Live. That's all I got.
Hey, everybody. Chris Denman, Travis Sorrell, having a great time here on a Thursday. Happiest hour Thursday, if you will. We'll get into plenty today. We got the Great American Race. An interesting thing happened a year ago. We can talk about that. But let's say hello to our stream queen and Scooter King, Aunt Crystal Gardner. Good morning, sir.
That's rude.
Madam.
Howdy, gentlemen.
Oh, boy.
Howdy, walnuts.
Oh, there it is. What?
I said good morning to Chris as he walked in the building this morning, and he said, howdy. I was like, is that a Farmington hello?
You upset,
like,
bro?
Like a cat.
Did he tip his cap? Did you
Doff.
have a cap on today? Did you have a
Doff.
cowboy? Why did you go howdy? What was that all about?
Felt right.
Oh. Gardner, did you feel it? Did it feel
He
right to you?
He offered me a sarsaparilla.
Oh. Oh, okay.
I got my bar rag and just started
Yeah.
wiping it down.
Uh-huh. He put on one of those...
I got X, XX, and XXX.
Oh, I see. Oh, that's interesting.
Western Thursday on We Are Live.
Ooh. Favorite Western, Blazing Saddles.
It would probably have to
The
be
Searchers. Outlaw Josie Wales.
Unforgiven, or what's with my homeboy Val Kilmer?
Brokeback Mountain.
That is not a cowboy movie.
Tombstone.
There it is.
Miles Michaelis, the Cardinals pitcher, was wearing a Val Kilmer Tombstone shirt the other day.
Well, that helps, because I forgotten about him as a Cardinals pitcher.
Why would you do that?
He was
You haven't been paying attention.
I know.
He's going to start paying attention when they make the first round of the playoffs.
Well, like 95% of the people in this city.
That makes sense.
That's not.
Yeah, because Bush has been
That's
just,
not-
even with the Cardinals being 2.5 games up right now, Bush Stadium has just been overflowing with fans this week, right? A lot of people heading down to the ballpark to check out the Cardinals and Giants, have they?
I can answer that question
Okay.
in a very reasonable way. If people aren't there, that doesn't mean they're not watching or paying attention.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's very easy.
Sure. Yeah, it's
No,
very
sure.
easy to
It's
go.
not sure. It's an
You
actuality.
can just, Siri, how did the Cardinals game go yesterday? Siri tells me to score. Boom. That count as people paying attention to the Cardinals?
Yeah, you're paying attention.
Okay.
Are you aware of what's going on?
You just get a score update?
Are you aware of what's going on?
I'm aware of the score.
Okay. Are you paying attention something?
To the score. Doesn't mean I'm paying attention to the Cardinals, the team, the day-to-day,
What if
the
you're-
ins and outs.
What if you're at a bar watching the game?
I don't think people are.
They most certainly are.
Yeah.
They absolutely are.
People are at a bar. Is it because it's on or because people are asking to watch it?
Probably both.
I mean, they're in first place. It's a pretty
Okay.
big baseball town.
Okay. If you guys say
Just
so.
because we don't talk about it every
I've
day.
seen your credibility from
No,
the
I
past.
know
That
other
there's
sports-
It's lacking.
Outside of Bernie Miklasz, no one else in this town is really talking about the Cardinals every day.
How do you
And
know
Bernie
that?
does it because he doesn't know how to talk about anything else.
How do you know that? Do you listen to Bernie on your way in?
I do.
Okay.
Like
So-
he can
so-
tell me about
so
Dakota
you-
Hudson's girlfriend and where she graduated from. That's all they talk about in this town. He does.
Oh, well, that's all they talk about in this town.
Well,
So
he
that would
does.
go against what you were just saying.
No, I take that back. I say Bernie Miklasz is probably the only one in this town that
So no other radio
consistently-
shows are talking about the Cardinals.
they may bring it up in passing.
Yeah, that's not how that works.
Okay.
That's not it at all.
I don't.
Because they get ratings for talking
And Frank
about
doesn't
them.
count. I know you're thinking in the back of your head right now, Frank.
No,
Cusimano.
I'm thinking of every show because I know how ratings work and I know what gets ratings in this town.
Talk about the same damn thing all the time.
Yes, I know.
know,
It
yeah.
can be
That's very true.
infuriating,
It's
but they
very,
still
very
do it,
infuriating.
which
They
is the
do.
Cardinals.
It's so frustrating. It's beyond frustrating. But congratulations to the St. Louis Cardinals. They did take 2 out of 3 from the Giants. Good for us. Good for them.
Oh, us?
Up 2.5
2.5
on your Chicago Cubs.
Oh boy. And they're who's coming to town this weekend?
Don't know. I haven't been paying attention.
And scene.
Still got it.
Oh, my
Good
God.
job, guys.
That was good, guys.
Good job.
Are you going to replace me with Kevin Wheeler? He got let go over at 101. Radio's I texted somebody about that, and they were just like, didn't even flinch. They were like, yeah, radio, man. What are you going to do?
It is.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd say it's radio, but I feel like, and I haven't been in every market, so I'll stop short of saying this is how it is everywhere else because I know Cardinals giving that look already. But I was going to say.
You like perspective.
Yeah, I do. It feels like it's a St. Louis thing in the sense that when these guys do eventually get let go or they leave, it's always under the most curious of terms. Not to say there's anything specifically controversial about Kevin Wheeler leaving 101 ESPN, but it just feels like it just based from the tweets and the ambiguous.
He certainly wasn't expecting it.
Yeah, he wasn't expecting it. It was such an ambiguous reason, I guess, or reasoning behind it. It just feels like, wow, why is this constantly happening in this particular market? I wouldn't be surprised, Chris, if it was money. But I feel like, as we've already alluded to, in St. Louis, if you're doing sports talk, it's really just
matter of time.
Cardinals and Tigers. And, of course, when hockey's here, you'll obviously talk about the Stanley Cup champions, St. Louis Blues. Yeah. But it isn't anything more nuanced than that. No disrespect to those guys and the work that they do. But you're talking Cardinals, Blues, Mizzou. It's really
Battlehawks.
Oh, that may happen.
NFL a lot.
But I guess what I'm alluding to is that I don't see how there is so much changeover in a city that only talks about 2 or 3 things.
Well,
it'd be one thing if it was New York and you're covering 85 sports. I don't know if you knew this, but that's where I was for a while. A lot of sports in New York. They have 2 football teams. And so
Where do they play in New York?
Where do they play?
Yeah.
They play at MetLife. Well, they kind of play like in the Meadowlands.
What state is that?
That's kind of New Jersey.
Oh, kind of.
New Jersey is like the way we treat East St. Louis. I mean, it's ours, but not really.
Okay.
Yeah.
I wouldn't know. I've only been there for a week.
No, you got blacked out drunk and you slept under a park bench.
No park benches.
Okay.
Did get blackout drunk.
Why do you think? But what have been reasons, Gardner? You've worked in the industry for a while. What are generally the reasons that you can share for people leaving or being dismissed or contracts not being renewed? Like it just seems like
reason. There's always one reason.
You think it's specifically money?
Yeah.
You think Wheeler was let go because of money?
Yeah.
Like I mean. 101's the highest rated show, highest rated network in St. Louis, so that's kind of weird, right?
In terms of sports talk.
Yeah, certainly. But I don't understand, like,
and they hit their target demo.
Wheeler's a good guy. I mean, he's good at what he does.
Nothing to do with that.
I mean, but I'm saying is, but like, why not give him the money? You have it.
I don't. Well, here's the thing. I don't know that that's the reason.
Oh, okay. I'm just going off what Chris says.
I'm not going to speculate on why.
Okay.
There's always a financial reason, in my opinion, in most cases.
That's silly. If that is, that's pretty silly, if you ask me.
Yeah.
But you don't know what's going on.
Well, I'm not going to go there. Is what I'm not.
Okay. Do. But have there been other reasons outside of money from your experience why people leave? Okay.
Yes.
That's fine.
Well, certainly.
Okay. Does it generally have to do with someone sleeping with somebody's wife?
I would say no.
Okay. Damn it. I was hoping somewhere in there somebody got fired because of sleeping with somebody else's wife.
And I would say more of them have to do with, it's not necessarily financial, it's other things normally. But financial things can tie into that as like an underlying factor, but it wouldn't be necessarily the primary factor.
Okay.
Just from what I've observed.
Very, very bizarre St. Louis radio market. It is.
Now, for me personally, I've been impacted monetarily. Normally.
Now, I will say this, and I'll speak from experience. There are people who carry personal vendettas more so in the radio industry than I've seen in any other industry I've been a part of. Like where it dictates someone's future, where someone who has a personal vendetta does not have anything to do with their work or the content that they're putting out. They just don't care for the individual. Therefore, they force them out. Yeah, exactly. which is crazy because I've worked in politics. I've worked in the service industry. And the place where I've found the biggest psychopaths is somehow in AM, FM radio. How? How do these psychopaths get in position of control and power?
Creatives.
Yeah,
creatives.
That's what they're going. That's what we're going with. But that's the fascinating thing about the St. Louis radio market is that it's not necessarily about being good. It's about being available. And so I just I don't like people who are like, no disrespect to Bernie, But if Bernie was in any other market, you ain't stopping your radio to listen to him. You listen to Bernie here in St. Louis because he's there.
No, that's not. I wouldn't say that.
You disagree?
Well, if you.
I don't hate Bernie. I want to make that very
well,
clear.
Just say if you're. I'd put Bernie in another. I'll just say San Diego for the hell of it.
Yeah?
Because if I ever become homeless, I want to be there.
Fair.
You're
but,
close.
But if you had written for the San Diego Union Tribune for I don't know how many years,
Yeah.
and then transitioned, you automatically have credibility, and people would listen to him. If his resume was the same in another city,
Right.
it would probably be the same.
I think because of his extensive resume
Yeah.
as a writer
But
here
that
in the city.
matters.
If you're good,
Yeah. But see, here's the thing: you're. It's not objective though. It's subjective.
I'm equating you're
Some
equating
people
experience with good.
I'm saying
Experience is credible. He is a credible
Right.
sports talk. So he can talk sports. I'm saying he doesn't talk sports well. To the point where I find him consistently interesting to be in a prime.
subjective though. That's not
True.
that's not objective.
True.
That's some people will find entertainment in nuts and bolts, numbers, that kind
That's
of
fair.
discussion.
That's a fair.
So entertainment isn't we don't like it might not be for us, right?
Okay. That's fair.
But for others it is.
Sure. That's a good point.
Now and then there are others that, hey, this is the dial I keep it on. I'll be listening.
That's fair.
So
I would say a vast majority of that audience is because it's stuck on the radio. It's not because I'm getting up in the morning and I'm going, I wonder, did Bernie catch that game last night? Let's hear what he has to say. I would say there is an audience that does that. But I would say a vast majority of the ratings that 101 often receives is because people need a sports talk station, and 101 is available, and it's a great FM station as far as quality is concerned.
But
and so
they've
it's there.
established that over time, that kind of listening pattern. And that comes with at least having somebody that's maybe slightly entertaining or whatever. I mean, there's a process.
They're likable.
to that.
And I think they're likable. Bernie's likable. Carricker's likable. Wheeler, at least in my opinion, was likable. So even if I didn't care for their content, I see why people wouldn't be turned off by them because they're likable guys. Like Carricker's a very smart, entertaining, and likable guy. That helps, certainly. I wonder sometimes if we actually used, and maybe your barometer is correct in the sense that I'm looking for more out of my talk show in the sense that I don't have a problem with the numbers.
You're just looking for something different.
There it is.
That's all you're looking
That's
for.
fair. Look at you. He always brings me back. You do such a great job at bringing me back. I don't know what's gotten into you lately, but you always bring me. You center me.
I've been cleaning. It's been nice.
Oh, I like it.
Cleaning what?
My apartment.
And it's
Did you
just
kill
centering
someone
you.
in it?
No,
I don't think.
but
you
I
did.
have torn
Fair
it
question.
apart
Yeah.
and
Are
we're
you-
doing some things.
Are you finding some goodies? I love when I clean. I
Yeah.
find goodies or things I lost 2 years ago.
Finished the closets.
Yeah.
Closets are tough if you go after them and then reorganize them.
Closets are
All
a
of
beast.
them. Storage space as well.
How was it when you came out of one?
Freeing.
While
Woke-
you being a
woke
woke
bully.
bully. Yep.
Damn it.
Yep.
That is a good one.
Centered him.
You did. You guys always bring me back.
Mm-hmm.
What was that thing called on the typewriter when you would go? What is that called, Chris?
I don't know. It's been a long time since I used
Typewriter?
a typewriter.
Yeah, but what's the zick part called?
The Zook.
Yeah. That's got to be a name for that. What's the name for the zip? What's the zip part? What's that? I know
want to
that.
just let you keep going.
I know that's the typing
I
part.
kind of want you to look it up and not me to find it because I'm hoping that it's like a word like melodica.
Oh, okay, I'm gonna look it up.
So
then.
I'm afraid I don't want to ruin it if it is something that you might mispronounce.
All right, let's look it up.
Right. Like, why
Yeah.
throw that gift away?
Yeah, exactly. So I want to put this on you to find out what it is.
I put typewriter anatomy into Google. Oh, we're here to search here in a second.
Interesting search.
Yeah,
Is that a
well,
good band name?
I don't
Yeah.
know.
Typewriter anatomy.
Guess what? It
Appear-
pulled it
they,
up.
they opened for Weird Al on his last North American tour.
Weird
And
Al?
it was brilliant because it gave me an actual breakdown of a typewriter.
Yeah.
So my Google skills top notch. By the way, you can catch this show if you're trying to catch up with past contents or some of my content on the WAL blog. Just go to We Are Live and put it in the Google box.
and then you'll find our
officially.
website.
While Travis looks for that, I'll remind everybody tonight, 4 p.m. specials, 6 p.m. start. Comedy at Sophies. That's right. Happiest hour. It's back. Thursday nights will never be the same. We'll ruin you for all over Thursday nights. Yeah. The great Kendra Jones will be opening the show. Will O'Donnell, our friend J.C. Sabala headlining. We've got Jack Daniel's specials. That's right. We're in partnership with the Jack Daniel's Tennessee Whiskey. They'll have specials. You have Schlafly beer specials. Ever heard of them? That's right. Schlafly, Jack Daniel's, making this possible. We provide comedy each and every Thursday. Happiest hour at Sophies. It's in Grand Center, right here in our building. 3224 Locust. Come by, join us. Had a great crowd to kick things off last week. It was packed. We want to keep that going with another wonderful lineup each and every Thursday. Happiest hour at Sophies here in the Zach building in beautiful Grand Center. Do you say beautiful Grand Center, Gardner?
It depends. Depends on the mood. I mean, I would agree with that adjective.
Mm-hmm. You're an arts man.
Mm-hmm.
There are like literally 85 parts to a typewriter.
Did you find the Zook part?
It's got like multiple arrows pointing to it, so I'm just trying to decide which one. I think it's the marginal adjustment scale.
No,
That's the squeeze. That's the woo-doo-doo.
it's to the side of the labia.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. You're gross. You should grow up.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's the paper alignment scale. No, that's not it.
Okay.
Typewriter experts, be sure to let us know in the comments on Facebook.
I'll figure it
Did
out.
your family ever have a word processor?
Yes.
We did too.
We
Yeah,
won, we won one
I don't know
at
if I ever
something,
used it.
and I was like, "Oh my god, this is awesome!"
Did anybody use it?
Barely.
Well, it was
then the computers came, so
yeah. There was
Yeah,
there was like 3 months. The word processor was king.
Like literally, like maybe half a year, maybe. And
It
then
was
all
just
of
a typewriter with a hard drive in it, right?
Uh-huh.
Is that what it
Yeah.
was?
Yeah.
With the little green screen and then.
I wonder who the guy was that like really got that branded and marketed and was like, "I'm gonna make a ton of money off these."
But that's
It
the
was
thing.
Theodore processor.
But that's the thing about even some of the technology that we experienced in the early 90s, mid 90s, things like that. Like we even knew then that while it was a step up from what we were used to, it was still relatively shitty technology. Like it wasn't
I
anything
didn't know that about CDs.
a type like with like
yeah, neither did the
CDs,
industry
okay,
when they were
CDs are
I
charging.
thought
exception.
CDs were the future of everything.
I agree.
Well, so did the music industry as they got
Ugh.
up to what, $22 a CD or something.
Yeah, they did.
flew
as
too
well.
close to the sun.
They
Buying
did.
towers to house your cases in.
Oh yeah,
We
hardcore.
did
Think about
do that. Think about the tower
custom.
community.
Think about the custom CD things that were made. Like people's grandpas were like, "All right, you know what? I'm gonna buy into this, and I'm gonna give you a little bit of the past for the future." 2 years later, it was kindling.
And you can almost look at
gone.
the same way with DVDs. Remember, and even with Netflix, when they were able to send you the DVDs, like we
Someone-
thought that was a game changer, and then that immediately
You know what I threw away last night while cleaning?
an old Netflix probably DVD.
A DVD player.
Oh wow!
I don't have any DVDs anymore.
I don't think I haven't seen a DVD
I was
player in
like-
a while in many
Oh,
rooms.
actually, no, I didn't throw it away. I put it in a bag to take to Goodwill.
Smart.
I put 3 suits in there,
Yeah.
a Rams polo shirt,
Of course you did. Just in time for football season too.
and a DVD player. It's going to Goodwill.
Remember DVD players, like how special it was to have one. That was a game changer for my household. Like we had a DVD player, and boy oh boy,
like 3 months ago.
that was bum.
I skipped over like
Less than a
Blu-ray.
year.
Like I didn't even attempt.
No,
to get
I didn't
anything
even
like
jump
that.
on that because I'm the same with you. I'm just like, this isn't going to be around for another 12 months anyway, and we were correct.
Keeps you wondering what's next.
I think it's also why it exposes the scam. Like for years, people would say, I forgot what comedian would say this. You'd be like, Japan's had DVD players for 5 years. Like they're just giving us technology in increments. And that's how I feel like now. Like
Is
I
that
can't
like
even get to
the,
the digital craze. Like
that
I don't
like-
even get excited for that anymore.
Is that like the iPhone battery conspiracy theory?
Oh,
Is that how that
absolutely.
works?
It feels like that's how it works, especially when so many people have the same story. So yeah, absolutely. I think these technology companies, like I've said this before on the show about how I feel about some of these technology companies. I think they're half-assing this. You can't come out with technology, like you can't go from Blu-ray to digital 4K in a span of 3 years. That just doesn't. No, that's not how technology works. You had it, and now you're rolling it out just so you can get a little bit of that extra green.
Well, yeah,
That's bullshit.
I know.
I
But-
hope Elizabeth Warren has a plan for that.
Or Florida man has a plan for that.
Either or.
I wonder how would he handle
How
that?
would he handle technology and the evolution of it?
Yeah.
How don't they just take
No, I'm wrong.
the
Wrong
DVDs?
accent.
How do I do hillbilly?
It's not hillbilly. It's like northeastern.
Oh yeah, that's right. He had a little bit of a New England accent.
Just because he had a print shirt on like Chris wears doesn't mean you go Murphy
That's what
settlement
I
accent.
saw the bangs. I saw the Hawaiian shirt. I was like, it's gotta be from St. Joe.
So what? I don't know what we do with these CDs. It's more along
There it
there.
is. That's good. That's good.
Some of those CDs cost upwards of $100 after fees, fines, and interest. Hashtag damn you Columbia House. Triangle Assassin.
That's another one that if we're going to bail out middle class Americans, how cool would that be if there was a small stipulation in the debt relief bill that it erases everything from Columbia House?
Just like the Hong Kong protesters are using lasers while we're still throwing rocks and red hot riplets.
Hong Kong protesters set the bar.
They busted out
They
a laser?
Dude, they have so many cool things like some MacGyver shit. Like they are MacGyver of protest. They are
seen them,
so
like,
good.
Have you seen them like scooping up tear gas?
They like
Like they
spray
run
it.
over, spray it.
They
scoop
put
it
like
up
a
into
cone on top. They
container.
spray like a fire extinguisher on the
Shake it,
inside,
yeah.
shake it. And then, in typical Hong Kong Asian fashion, they recycle.
Oh,
It's brilliant.
yeah.
They figured it out. I tell you what, they need to write a book.
Like just a handbook, a manual.
Man, y'all don't want to see. Y'all don't want to see Black Lives Matter with the Hong Kong
Yeah.
playbook.
It's like it'd be like the protesters' Bible.
How awesome would that? Yes, the protesters' Bible. That would be, and it worked. The prime minister, absolutely, she pulled back the bill, the extradition bill that people were protesting for the last 3 weeks. She folded. The government folded. Protesters won. I don't ever want to hear anyone say that protesting is dead. Get the hell out of here. That was impressive. 3 weeks. In 3 weeks, they got what they asked for.
It does help when you have millions of people.
Yeah, that also goes a long way. Yeah, that's very true.
Can be an issue.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's very true. I don't see.
The numbers alone are impressive.
I don't see. Yeah, I don't see almost 300,000 people from Black Lives Matter showing up at
Yeah.
somebody's neighborhood anytime soon.
Or that would be something.
You guys could. It isn't of all the black clubs to get into. Y'all always trying to find a way into the community, and this is the one you don't want to join. We got snacks.
Oh.
Can I-
Cookouts?
I'm just saying.
If there's a cookout,
I'm just saying. You
Count
could,
me in.
You could get invited, Chris.
You
And
think?
we know how you are with the sisters, boy.
I don't know.
You turned it to John Mayer.
John Mayer in St. Louis yesterday?
He
the day
was.
before?
He was like 2 days ago. I think John Mayer
It's
was doing a
always
show.
Like, who are you? Like, how is it that the most random people get thrown into the most common things? I would love to connect the dots. I'm going to start doing this, screenshotting all the people that are at the same event
Right.
who would never talk to each other in
Yeah.
real life. I'm like, you guys all like the same thing. I'm talking a flood of John Mayer updates on all social media stuff.
Those people are in relationships, too.
Yeah?
You ain't going no John Mayer solo.
well, Rob Thomas was in town recently too.
Oh, it's a hot one. Rob Thomas of the Blues. Met him.
Yeah.
Oh, what, did he come into the studio?
No.
Oh, how'd you
At
meet
the
Rob
show.
Thomas?
No, Rob Thomas, the blues player.
Yeah, what
met
about him?
Rob Thomas, the singer.
Oh, that was a thing.
There you go.
Okay. Isn't one named Robert Thomas?
Well, you can call
Well,
him Rob.
in this, you
No,
call him.
no, nobody named Robert calls themselves Rob, do they? That was Bob.
My grandpa's name is Robert. He goes by Bob. His name's Bob Evans.
That's right. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Have we ever actually seen Bob Evans? Not your Bob Evans, but has anyone actually ever seen
I
Bob
don't-
Evans?
I don't know what he looks like or did look like. I do not know.
I hope he's a black man with a Jerry curl.
I doubt that. I doubt that.
It could. The stencil lever? No, that's not it.
I'm gonna have to look this up. If you don't find
Like they
it
should at
now.
least put it in parentheses. They know what I'm talking about.
Just do the zook one.
I
Yeah, there you go. That's a good sound.
think it's the shift bar. It is not the shift bar.
It is not.
I'm going to get to the bottom of this at some point.
You quickly
It just frustrates me.
quickly shot yourself down there.
Yeah, I did.
I think it's the shift bar. Pause. It is not the shift bar. That's how quick that happened. Who knows typewriters around? I'm going to have to text Gould, Derek Gould. He loves typewriters.
Shout out to the Post-Dispatch. They moved locations officially.
Excuse me?
Yeah. I think.
What?
Mm-hmm. Well, it was their last day yesterday.
I saw a tweet last night saying that they might have to go another day there now.
Oh,
Where? What's going
That's
on?
awkward. They're moving buildings.
Yeah.
St. Louis Post-Dispatch?
Yeah.
They're moving the building?
Well, not
Square's
the
taking over
building.
their building.
The building's staying where it is.
Yeah.
Oh. I was like, damn.
You're having a morning here.
I was like, I drive by it every day. I just saw it. I ain't see nobody trying to pick it up.
Yeah. Jack Dorsey's got it now.
So Square's going to be there?
Well, they're doing something technological.
So where's St. Louis Post-Dispatch going?
Not too far away.
A few blocks away or
Yeah,
something.
I can't remember the exact location.
They should have took the AT&T building.
That's probably a little big.
Oh, that's true. I mean, someone's got to fit Ben Ego in.
Oh.
See what I did there?
I would have taken the Millennium. If
Sick burn.
I don't know what they're going to do with that. What an eyesore. What an eyesore.
Millennium?
Oh, God.
It's called the carriage return. Is Travis using Ask Jeeves?
Oh, that makes sense because it's a... I get it. And I was not using Ask Jeeves.
Did you see carriage return on your...
I did. I didn't know that was it.
Did it, like, point to the thing?
It pointed to like 8 things.
But the carriage return point to the thing.
But then there was a nubble knob on the end of it.
Mm-hmm.
And so
Yeah,
zip-
so you kind of... when you
yeah,
put the
yeah,
paper
there
in.
you go. Uh-huh. You remember that move back in junior
All
high?
right.
Huh? All right, you know what I'm talking about. Yeah.
He tried not to laugh at you. Stupid shit.
Yes. He gets, and the funny thing is, Chris knows it. Like, Chris hates laughing at stupid shit, and that annoys me.
I know. He was bothered that he laughed at you. You could tell. That
Like,
was,
this is
he's like, God damn it.
Like, this show is a beacon of maturity. Chris gets upset when we make stupid, immature jokes like that. That's the best part about this show. That Chris keeps
no
expecting
best
higher
part.
standards
There's
for
no
the
best
show,
part.
and I have to remind him, stop. Don't do it.
The Post-Dispatch is going to a farm where it can romp and play with other newspapers.
Oh,
Tom Brown.
yes. Shoebox of S. Send it his way.
Will they be located in a newspaper house next to the cow house? Triangle says.
Cow house. What are those things called? Barns? The fact that I got to it, though, I feel like that's like people have a train of thought, and I worked to it. I wasn't sure. I was like, cows go on, they have a house. What's a cow house? Cow house is a barn. Mm-hmm. That's how I got through parts of college.
Oh, really?
Parts. And then when I learned that you can't just go about just saying things that aren't what they are and then putting them down as an answer. Apparently frowned upon that in college. You actually have to say the answer.
Not just
Cow house just doesn't like. I'm in the ballpark. I show work.
Mm-hmm. It's not just the answer; it's the process as well, Travis.
I feel like I'm in a hater mood today, Gardner.
Why?
I don't know. Something happened yesterday. I was home late and I was watching. It was just on the TV. It was in the background. I was essentially just trying to pass out. And what was on was The Big Bang Theory. I have not seen an episode, like a full episode.
I've probably seen 3 minutes of it ever.
I've never seen more than literally from the beginning to the end. And it was on, so I decided, okay, I don't want to walk the 3 feet to grab the remote. Let's just see what this is all about. And I watched the first one, and I thought, okay, that wasn't good. But maybe because I don't get some of the jokes, I don't know what season this episode is from.
Yeah.
Let me watch another episode to get a better idea as to what this show, what the hype is all about. I want to find out. So after the second episode, I discovered That is a very, very not funny show.
Hmm.
However, you have already pointed out earlier that it's a show that perhaps isn't for me.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm taking this into account as well.
Okay, that's good. That's reasonable.
Then who the hell is that show for? Because I noticed a theme that
Uh-oh.
the lady lead, very beautiful, was often wearing an outfit
Mm.
that exposed her beauty.
Let me see that beauty, baby.
And there were then men, schlubs, nerds, who were anything, looked like crap, told pop cultural jokes,
Yeah.
and that was it. That's Big Bang Theory.
Did you then ask yourself if this show is funny at all?
I did. I get it though, but it was just so weird to come to the conclusion that, oh, they just tapped into a very familiar formula. And I guess I'm saying I have a problem with it because how in the hell did a show like that consistently outrate 30 Rock, The Office, Modern Family? Those are like shows with plots and character development. That is like from an episode. Like, are you what?
So you think they're picking on people that are like incels and stuff?
What's that?
Involuntary celibates? They're the ones getting all mad at girls online.
I think this is catered towards. I don't like. It's very obvious who it's catered toward. Like it is.
Travis was like, that sounds a lot like me. Am I an incel?
I had to think about that. Sure did. But it feels like it's a show written for people who spend 18 hours a day on Reddit.
Look at her looking down on you.
Now I get it,
Travis, look at her with your mouth open.
huh?
Look at her on the
No, I ain't gonna do that, man. To that young lady. Young lady's a talent, and this isn't to take away anything from Kelly Kuko. Am I saying that correctly?
Mm.
Kelly Kuko. She's actually a very fine actress. However, the episodes that I watched, perhaps this isn't the case all seasons, but the episodes I came across, she was wearing this, and I'm going to be honest with you, who's paying attention to a punchline or anything when a woman like her is walking in looking like this? That's just fascinating. I can't believe they were able to get away with that.
The last thing I expected
On
this morning-
CBS.
this morning was Big Bang Theory hot takes.
Mhm.
Big Bang Theory, the television show. I could have expected hot takes on the Big Bang Theory itself, but
My reason was because Parsons, who plays the lead nerd,
Jim?
Yeah, Jim Parsons, he consistently beat out the likes of Steve Carell and Alec Baldwin for best comedic lead in a series. And I think that is
Awesome.
offensive. That is offensive. It's offensive.
You're always looking to be offended.
I'm not. I should be as a proprietor of the comedic arts.
As an,
I'm offended.
as an international screenwriter.
Thank you. Glad someone said it. I was sure getting
well, if
tired
I
of saying
didn't,
it.
you would have. So
Thank you.
I thought I'd skip
But it
that
was just,
today.
it's bothering. Like, I think it felt like they took the easiest way to attract the most gullible audience.
Yes.
And that, to me, is cheating. And I find cheating to be offensive.
You ever cheated?
Ah, hell yeah. Duh. What the fuck I look like? Of course. It's America. If you're not cheating, you ain't trying, baby.
Did you offend yourself?
I did several times. I'm like, man, I'm offended by my behavior.
Travis
I was-
Assassin watched every season of Big Bang Theory.
I'm not surprised. I'm trying to understand the formulas of successful television shows. And there are various formulas that exist.
That might be the official show of Cocktoberfest this year.
It should be. And it's not to say that there isn't good writing. I would imagine you have to be on TV that long, you have to have some good writing. I just think that maybe in the early stages of that show, it was very obvious that they were going to run out very nice looking hot girl telling relatively funny jokes in a skimpy shirt while surrounded by 4 geeks freaking out over Star Wars. It felt like it was plug and play. It felt like it was like nerds likes pop culture and hot women. Maybe we can center an entire show around their desperation.
And have you been on Twitter?
Very true.
Okay.
That's very true. Maybe I'm not disappointed at Big Bang Theory. I'm disappointed in us. Us as people. That we would allow that type of...
As a society.
Yeah. Maybe that's what I'm upset the audience. That we would allow a show like that to last as long and be held in the same regard as shows like Modern Family, 30 Rock, and The Office. I think we can look back right now on those shows, Modern Family, of course, still on the air, but we look how revered 30 Rock is, how revered The Office is, how revered Modern Family. Think about what those other actors and writers are currently doing from those projects. And then you have Big Bang Theory in the middle, and you couldn't tell me more than 2 actors from that show. You couldn't do it. Go, Chris.
From what?
Big Bang Theory.
The
Dude
guy
from Roseanne.
And then Jim Parsons,
Yep.
because he's done a bunch of interviews.
And I'm almost certain I'm saying that young lady's name incorrectly. And I don't mean disrespect. But I'm just
Did they ever-
saying...
was Brian Posehn ever on it? Big Bang Theory? He gets a lot of nerd
I'm
roles.
sure he probably would have jumped on at some point.
Maybe not. I don't know.
Or maybe it's just me being frustrated at television or award shows. Maybe I'm putting too much into award shows.
Yeah, well, that was
That's
going to be
probably
my
what it
thing.
is.
Is
But it also was like a highest rated show, so a
like
lot of people
why
watched
why
it.
do you need validation for what you like?
Do you miss your dad? Is that what we're getting to?
I think that's probably what we're talking about. For being honest, that's what we're getting to the bottom of.
Yeah.
I just miss Papa.
That's how it works.
Papa?
Big
Papa?
thanks to our friends at Gateway Powder Coating. They support us. You support them. If you need anything powder coated, take it to Gateway Powder Coating. That's right. If you can paint it, you can powder coat it, everybody. Make sure you hit them up online. GatewayPowderCoat.com. Fast, durable, and affordable, everybody. That's Gateway Powder Coating, serving the St. Louis area for many years now, and the #1 powder coating resource in the Midwest.
Boys and girls, the NFL kicks off tonight.
Do you care?
Are you ready for some football? I mildly do, because I have, I think, 3 fantasy teams this season. But I'm also a little bit excited because St. Louis's own Ezekiel Elliott is now the highest paid running back in the NFL. Congratulations to Ezekiel Elliott. He held out. He stuck to his guns. And if it's one thing they like in Dallas, it's sticking to their guns. And in doing so, he is now going to be the highest paid running back in America. Shout out to the John Burroughs superstar and, of course, Ohio State stud.
Why didn't he go to
Ezekiel
Mizzou?
Well, Chris, if you saw the game this past Saturday, that kind of gives you an inkling as to why most people wouldn't want to go to Mizzou. You know, going on the road, losing to a team where you were 17-point favorites. But hey, why bring in a transfer quarterback who at one point was a Heisman candidate and wait until the fourth quarter to actually allow him to start throwing the football? Fire Barry Odom.
Jeez.
There that is. I just wanted to find a way to slip
Do we
that
like
in
the
there.
new camera setup? Back to Terrell?
I mean, how does it look? I don't know. Oh,
little more of your body in there?
Wow. Sheesh.
Shout out to John Beebe of By Jacks, 10 feet that way.
Caw!
And Gardner, setting up the new camera. Now my dumb feet won't trip over it whenever I walk into our studio every day.
Big baller shot caller. Good for Ezekiel Elliott. I saw a funny tweet that said Jerry Jones kept him out of jail this summer. And I was like, well, that's a good point. Kind of hard to get a new contract extension when you're always in trouble, as Zeke has been in the last 2 summers. But he was able to get what he was looking for. Shout out to him. Good for him for the St. Louisans.
Man, Black Sheep's on it today. Highest paid running back in just America. I guess I forgot there was a big football falling in Dubai.
I'm sorry, there is. They play football in Canada too, pal.
Yeah, I was actually trying to figure out, is there a higher paid player
I
that's
wasn't
a running back in Canada?
Well, you always say speak to what I know, and
Yeah.
I don't know whether or not there's a running back in Canada that makes more money than Ezekiel Elliott. So
I'll
I'm
search
going with
for
what
it.
I know. Okay.
No, there's not.
Oh, you did, but you didn't even try.
I looked right at the
You just
computer.
did the Travis thing.
No,
you didn't even. You
I
looked.
looked
You
right at
didn't
the
even
computer.
try.
You saw
that
me
was
look at the
Metacrawler.
computer.
That was what. That is not how it works. Your hands didn't even move. How did you know to
just
search it?
quick.
You didn't even do anything.
I'm quick.
He told
didn't
you
see
he's
it.
quick. He's told you about his lateral movement before.
I'm surprisingly quick.
I think you're assuming.
Am I?
Yes. Yes, you are.
But I just searched it.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, I did.
Now you're lying.
I don't know about that. I'll disagree with that description.
Did you just grab a map and take a Sharpie and draw a circle over a state and say that's the trajectory of a hurricane?
I don't think I did that. I mean, that sounds ridiculous and ludicrous.
That sounds absolutely insane.
No one would ever.
Psychopathic, some would say.
No one would ever do anything like that. No one would ever do something this fucking stupid. No one would be that into themselves.
How did we get here? We know how we got here, but come on. Come on.
Look at him looking at it. Like, yep, this is it. This is info.
I've never, man, y'all don't understand how funny that shit is, man.
I am the chosen one.
I like
You're
even
listening at home. There's a Hurricane Dorian forecast track and intensity map, a physical copy of it. The president is holding up a large piece. It's got like a printed out version, and then he extended with a Sharpie the coverage area.
when he was asked about it by a reporter, he was like, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Verbatim. That is what he said in response to him drawing a Sharpie on a hurricane map. This is, I'm going to be honest with you.
It stems from this tweet right here.
In addition to Florida, South Carolina, North Carolina, Georgia, and Alabama will most likely be hit much harder than anticipated, looking like one of the largest hurricanes ever, already Category 5. Be careful. God bless everyone. That is a tweet from the real Donald Trump.
But then
So
it was followed up with.
He followed that up, but yes. So the president suggested that Alabama was in the path of Dorian.
Then the
And
National Weather Service in Birmingham tweeted 20 minutes later,
No.
we are not impacted by this.
No.
And so naturally, the news media called the president out, illustrating that no need to panic an entire state. It is clearly not within the path of Dorian.
Apparently
of course,
it was.
apparently
when
it
you look at
is.
this,
If you break out a permanent marker, it is absolutely in the path of a hurricane. This is so, and I know, Chris, you can rightfully kill me because it's almost like every other week there's a new story with this guy, and I know we often bring it up, and I often say that we have hit a new low, and I legitimately believe it sometimes that when I say those things, like, no, it cannot get lower than this, and then I realize, oh, he's just getting started. Damn it. So the president took a permanent marker,
a Sharpie.
a
Yeah.
Sharpie.
I'm waiting for Darren Ravel's tweet to let us know how much money Sharpie's made off this whole thing.
Yeah, that's
Well,
coming.
our boy Birch.
Sharpie got $2.7 million in free ad time through Twitter and Facebook.
Now, let me point out, too, he did send a tweet out after
Yes, he did.
he did whatever the hell he did here and had this
Sweet
tweet.
Jesus.
This was originally the path projected of the hurricane in its early stages. As you can see, almost all models predicted it to go through Florida, also hitting Georgia and Alabama. I accept the fake news apologies. There's caveats down below, apparently, telling you, yeah, this is not what you think it is, number one. This is just to accentuate certain maps. The maps never showed that, apparently. And also, these lines you see, and some of them, we don't... Look, we're not meteorologists. We don't do climate stuff either. Like, when you start reading about people that actually put these maps together, as I saw someone describing it, the lines that you see going to Alabama and that, those aren't lines of where the projected path is. It's about pressures and other measurements and everything like that. So it's not even like the line of the storm.
But this is, and I'll be as frank as I have been on this. I truly believe that if you do indeed vote for this president in 2020, you're a fucking idiot. Because You would never. You're telling me that if Elizabeth Warren took a map right now, used a Sharpie, and said, hey, man, this is where I saw a bunch of Native Americans, every news media outlet in the world would be burning her at the stake.
What if she had like a display and it had, what percentage of Native American she
Yes.
is?
Yes.
And then she added like a
Yes.
one.
Yes. And she added a 1% at the end of that chart. There isn't a man in America who wouldn't write that woman off right then and there. Not a man. There isn't a man alive. Black, white, it doesn't matter. There isn't a man on this planet, in this country, that would immediately go, she's officially off my, I won't consider any more of her policy positions. I don't want to hear any more of her stump speeches. I am completely writing off Elizabeth Warren. There are going to be millions of Americans who go to the polls next November who will be undeterred by the freaking president using a Sharpie to try to prove a point.
And believe it or not, coyotes.
Our boy Birch in the comments says we need to Google Sharpie Car.
Sharpie Car?
Have we done that?
No, why?
I'm not sure.
It's just penises flopping around. I don't want that thing
Sweet
again.
Jesus. I would rather you
Meatspin.com.
I would rather you write in, like, even if you're a conservative Republican, I would rather you just write in Mitt Romney or write in
Of course you would,
Nikki
because
Haley.
then that means
Yes, of course. But to save face as a person who votes, in order to save face, in order for you to continue to vote in future elections, you cannot vote for this president. You just can't. Outside of that, we talked about credibility earlier in the show. You lose every ounce of political credibility you've ever earned if you vote for him in 2020. It's that simple. I'm sorry. It's not even about politics anymore. It's not even about policy or agendas or the directions of the country. It's about, that's some stupid ass shit. Like, it wasn't even, like, here's my thing is, you could have done it. He could have done that. Get a graphic design team to accentuate the path themselves. Have someone actually physically make it. The fact that he thought a Sharpie and then presented it in front of over 300 million Americans and billions worldwide as fact has to illustrate how poor his current mental state is. There isn't a CEO, Chris, big or small in this country, that would do that. You know it for a fact. Really? There isn't one in America that would do that. Not one, and try to pass it off. To try to pass it off. Imagine
if a CEO did that, I'd be sure not to invest in his company.
Thank you. if you were a savvy investor and you continue to invest in the company where the president of that company used a Sharpie on a chart and did it with a straight face. You would look like a buffoon if you continue to put money into it, would you not? So how is it you wouldn't be a buffoon if you voted for this president again in next November?
Did we start Great American Race?
Oh, we're getting warmed up, my friend. We're getting warmed up for the next hour.
Sharpie Car.
Whew,
by the way. Here's a Sharpie car.
Oh, wow.
Ooh, that's kind of dope.
Birch.
That's gonna
Good call.
That's gonna suck.
It's pretty sweet.
Going through the hood.
Look at even the window details there.
That is pretty impressive.
That is nice.
How much time do you think that took?
Good call.
I don't know.
Get that guy. He would have loved the credit.
Oh, yeah.
Get him to do it. That's my thing. And I said this before, and I think everyone has said it as well. It's not the lying. It's not. We know people lie. Well, it is, but it's the bad lying. It's bad. It's not even good lying.
I got to see. How do I say this without sounding exactly how I don't want to sound? I got to see, without being like jealous, it wasn't like a give me that. I got to see how other dudes text people sometimes.
Text girls or other
girls
dudes? Okay.
That are trying to, whatever. And I didn't care about the fact that a person has a girlfriend. Like, do whatever you're going to do, right? I didn't care about who they were texting or whatever. I cared that it was so shittily thrown out. Mm-hmm. It was so poorly crafted.
Right.
Mm-hmm. I was like, this person, they don't think you're stupid, and this is what they come at you with to try and eventually sleep with you, I assume, right? Like, that's what it is. I saw that, and I was just like, is this the I'm offended for the people who can talk to girls, or girls that can talk. Does that make sense? The manner in which it was done, I was highly offended.
You're asking yourself, how could,
done.
if this is something you truly desire, how could you call this an effort? So,
well, and
that's,
then-
I mean, you know what
but
I'm saying?
then
Like, so
at the same time
it's so
thinking-
shittily done, but
thinking
in
that
that
it
person's
was.
mind, they probably thinking, I just dropped some mean game, and you haven't. You're completely out of touch. You don't know what's going on. That's also, but I think the reason why this individual known as Trump continues to do things like this is because not I. People are giving him the benefit of the doubt, and I don't understand why.
Enrique?
End of the day, before we go to break, will you vote for him again in 2020?
Chris, if he receives more than 20% of the vote, we as a country are doomed. We're doomed.
Did you hear? He didn't.
You didn't.
I said, will you be voting for him again in 2020?
I'm not going to
And you just
respond
brushed
to
right
such
over
a
it.
stupid question. I'm just going to make it very clear that I believe if he receives more than 20% of the vote, we're in trouble as a country.
What a stupid question.
Sharpie Car was safe. The listeners can be trusted. Now Google Sharpie butthole.
No.
Oh, jeez.
Black sheep.
Oh,
We'll take a break.
Hold on, real quick. Sharpie Car.
Uh-huh.
You made me think. You guys, you know what Paint Lewis is?
Yeah.
I have a friend who goes down there every year with 2 other guys, and they do paint on the graffiti wall.
Oh, nice.
He sent me a picture of what they did this year.
Shut up.
I thought Travis would like this.
That is freaking cool. Is that on the other side of the river? Or is that on this side of the
That's on
front,
our
riverfront?
side, yeah.
Okay.
Down by Chodo's Landing.
Oh, I'm going to have to go check that out. That is cool. They need to put this. This needs to go viral. That is outstanding.
That's what they did this year for Paint Lewis.
Oh, that's beautiful.
And
That is
then
absolutely cool.
The year before, I think they did a Close Encounters one. Here it is, right there. And
That's pretty awesome.
That is freaking awesome. I may have this. I haven't been down to the landing, and I don't have
They
a
do
gun.
some good
but I
work
may have to
down
sneak
there.
down there at some point and take a picture.
Now we're not doing comedy shows down there anymore. That was the single greatest feat anyone's ever done, getting people to come to shows on the landing.
Shit. I think we
I
deserve.
saw this and I was like, oh, I got to show this to Travis.
It's pretty awesome.
If Louis Reed can give Boys to Men a proclamation, they should have gave We Are Live a proclamation for getting people to try to return to the landing. We deserve a freaking plaque for trying to make that happen, pal.
There were people there. We had people
We
down there.
did on a few events.
We'll take a break. It's We Are Live. We're live from Midcoast Studio in Grand Center, midcoast.media for more information. Big thanks to Tech Electronics for helping us gear up for the studio. Check out techelectronics.com for more information about their capabilities and services throughout the Midwest and in the St. Louis area. Chris Denman, Travis Terrell, Chris Gardner. Quick break. Be right back.